So getting into this match, off of that, I see two water types. So already not looking good for Pyroar. Plus, both Toxapex and Gudra are very, very specially bulky. So we really want to get rid of those Pokemon as fast as possible before we bring in Pyroar. Also, Lando, we need to prevent any Stealth Rocks, so that's why we lead with Iron Treads, just in case. Now, it clicks U-turn, so that already makes me suspicious, because I'm thinking this is Scarf, because otherwise it would have clicked Stealth Rocks or EQ, because Iron Treads, not that scary for Lando. So it goes in Toxapex, which is kind of weird to me, but I'm assuming they want to click Scald and try to burn me. So, of course, no one gets burned, so I switch into Zapdos here. Now, Zapdos would have been good, but then they do another double switch. I guess they predicted the Zapdos, so they go back to Lando. I'm assuming they're going to click Defog here, if it's a Scarf Lando like I'm assuming, but they could also click Rock Slide, so I don't want to risk it. So I go into Hollow to Scout. Then they do a triple switch into the Gudra. At this point, I don't know what they're thinking. So here, I'm thinking Flip Turn or Toxic. I kind of just want to get the Toxic off. They don't have any Steel types that they would bring in right now, so also this Toxic is very helpful because this Pokemon is hella bulky. So now I'm thinking, what do I switch into? And this is where I make probably my one mistake of the game. I don't know why I switched into Rillaboom. I think the pivot potential was what I was looking for. With Iron Treads, I would have been stuck and I lost momentum if they switched out, but with Rillaboom, I can always click U-turn and gain the upper hand. So it's not really a mistake, but not the most optimal play. Here, we switch out. And we switch into Toxapex. And this is early enough in the game where you can make safe plays, like just clicking Volt Switch. Even if you know they're going to go into Lando here, it's fine. It's early in the game. Nothing bad's going to happen. So here, knowing that, I click Hurricane now. And I'm still thinking this is Scarf. This is just Scarf behavior. But luckily we get the confusion off as well. At this point I know, because they kind of feel Scarf, I know they're going to switch out. So we click Volt Switch, get that nice momentum swing in our favor. And now I'm thinking, okay, we only have one physical attacker that can hit this. Is it worth sacking Rillaboom with the Woodhammer? No, we're just going to click U-turn. U-turn's going to do a good chunk anyways because Gudra is just so physically weak. And there we go. Click U-turn. Nice. And now we go into Iron Treads. However, what I forgot was, usually Gudra does run Flamethrower. I was under the impression they were running Sludge Bomb as their last move, but Flamethrower was. It's okay, we're doing fine. I know we're faster than them, so at first I click High Horsepower, but then I realized they can always do the Lando switch, so Ice Spinner is the best middle ground play, because it covers for both options. Great. Switch into Lando, we get that kill. Now, Zapdos is free to click Volt Switch as much as she wants. So now, I'm thinking, what are they going to switch into? They switch into the Noivern, and the second I switch in, all I'm thinking is, it's Flamethrower. I'm not faster, I'm thinking, do I need Iron Treads? Can I just sack it? And I'm thinking, it's alright, we'll keep it. It's useful, maybe we'll get to set up Stealth Rocks later, so Iron Treads definitely has some use to it. So we switch into Slowking on what I assumed would have been a Flamethrower. Somehow they do another double switch, they just love double switching. So, comes into Toxapex, I click Future Sight, it's free, there's nothing much this Toxapex can do to me. Starts putting up Spice, which is kind of odd, because now that Lando's gone, I can easily just chilly out of here, and go to Zapdos, click Volt Switch, safely, because there's nothing that resists it anymore, and then just go back into Slowking, and get rid of the Spice. Plus, now Future Sight's coming up, so they have to switch. Good, that's what they do. Now, what plays out next is absolutely insane, okay? This Gudra is at 16% HP. Somehow, this dude takes a Future Sight, and then also a Toxic damage, and survives. Just insane. But I know I'm surviving any one hit, and then it's gonna die to Toxic anyways. Here I'm thinking, what's the best possible Pokemon I can put out? And it ends up being Iron Treads. Mainly because I know Iron Treads are not gonna be that useful anymore. Might as well just set up Stealth Rocks and sack it. That's kind of what I'm thinking at this point in time. However, they go into the Rillaboom, and here now I'm thinking, oh, they're probably gonna kick Grassy Glide, try to kill me here, so we go into the Zapdos, try to fish for that static. Okay, no static yet. Click Hurricane here, pretty free into everything against their team. Something's gonna take huge damage, whether that's a KO on this Rillaboom, or Toxapex gets 50% HP, I don't know, something's gonna take a lot of damage here. They decide to stay in, Hurricane does land, and boop, there goes their Rillaboom. Now, they switch into Noivern here, and I'm fully expecting a Boom Burst, because that just kind of seems like the logical play. And yeah, as I expected, it was a Boom Burst. Turns out that Throat Spray. So now this is a little bit scary, because once this dies to the Flamethrower, which I did assume they had, I don't really have anything on my team that can hit it back as hard. So what I'm thinking is, okay, let's go into Glowking. He's definitely going to click Boom Burst, because that's going to do like 50%. If we get a Thunder Wave off, hoping to the RNG gods, we get this Thunder Wave off, we can deal with it pretty easily. Luckily, we land the wave, and now all we need to do, sack this Mon, it doesn't matter. All we need to do is switch into Rillaboom or Zapdos, and now just pivot spam. So then I realized, yeah, Bug is weak to flying, I'm kind of stupid, so I go into Zapdos here, eventually. There we go. And now, Volt Switch away. I know this is a Pyroar video, but Pyroar hasn't showed up once. that's kind of the way it goes with these very strong wall breakers. Against teams like these, you need to chip down the walls that are preventing your main wall breaker from coming in, and that's what we're doing right now. So, right now we're just pivot spamming, just for days. There's nothing really this Noivern or person can do. If they switch into Mobile, we get a free switch into Pyroar. If they switch into Toxapex, we get a free switch into Rillaboom. There's not much they can do right now. So, at this point, it's low enough that we can bring in the Pyroar, and we finally get that sweet, sweet Mega Evolution. I'm telling you, I was a hater of Mega Pyroar's design at first, but looking at it from the back, it is very, very majestic. Also, female Pyroar, base design, awesome too. Just look at that wavy hair, that's tough. Looks like our opponent is thinking for a while, but there's nothing much left to think. Toxapex here, this is why I love Mega Pyroar. With adaptability, this thing hits like a truck. Even things like Toxapex do not like taking, that is over 50%. I'm assuming this is a Spidef Toxapex, that could only explain why they're taking so much damage, but still, that is just insane damage. So now, it's pretty much wraps, there's nothing they can do. Mawile can come in, I guess they can Sucker Punch, but they really can't do anything. Fire Blast, as long as this lands, it is pretty much GG's. And Fire Blast does land, beautiful. And now, at this point, if I was the opponent, I'd forfeit too. But I want to get that sweet, sweet 3-0 victory with Pyroar, but unfortunately our opponent doesn't give it to us. But that's it. Alright, so next battle, looking at this team, this seems like a classic Webs hyper offense team. But they have a Mega Venusaur, it looks like, which is kind of odd. Mega Venusaur isn't usually what you think of when you think of hyper offense, but let's just go with the flow. So they lead with Cinderace, I lead with Eintrads. Yeah, I need to get out of here, I'm going to die. I was thinking they're going to lead with like the Sticky Webs user, because that's what they usually lead with, but turns out they went with Cinderace. That's fine. This is a really cool skin, by the way. I wish I got the code for it, but rip. Okay, they did high jump kick. Does a little too much, so we switch into Zapdos, because I'm thinking he's going to click it again. Might not, he might U-turn, but either way, I just want to get a static. That would have been really nice. But he switches into Venusaur, which still is awesome for me. I think he said that he thought I would protect there. I don't know why I'd protect there for no reason, but sure. Here, he had a free Hurricane off. I'm thinking he's switching into Golden Go. That's kind of the only person he can switch into. But, just thinking. I was also typing to him. I was asking him how he got that Cinderace skin. I don't have that Cinderace skin. Apparently it was a code from a long time ago. I wish I got it. I look sick. Anyways, switches into Golden Go like I thought. Is Air Balloon, which is really important because we popped it. Now we'll switch out of here. What I realized is this team is mighty weak to Shadow Ball, like Shadow Ball and Dark Pulse, and like just in general those two moves. I don't really have anything that resists it on my team, so I might need to fix this team up a little bit. So we'll switch out of here. Now I'm confused who I should go into. I decided to go Glow King just to scout. Does do Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball does do an insane amount, and they luckily do get that special defense drop. So now I definitely have to switch out. So I go into Iron Treads. I'm expecting this to do around like 30%. Yeah, a little bit more, which is unfortunate. And I high horsepower. Oh, never mind, I go for Stealth Rocks, because it's so obvious they have to switch out because I'm faster here. So they do switch out, I get to get that Stealth Rocks up, which is really, really nice. The reason I Ice Spinner here is because there is literally nothing I can switch into. Like, Dark and Ghost types suck for this team, and that's the one weakness I need to fix. So, as you can see, I'm looking through my Pokemon list, I'm like, wow, I have 0 things that want to switch into this right now. This is quite terrible. So, I think ultimately I just say, screw it, I'm just going to sack this mon. Really, there isn't anything that super necessary Iron Treads is needed for, so I just sack it. Stealth Rocks is already up. Switch into Pyroar here, and we get to see Mega Pyroar in action, baby. Mega Pyroar goes crazy in this game, so I'm excited for this one. So, the way this Hydrogen is acting, it's almost 100% Scarf, right? So, even if they had Draco Meteor, they can't use it, and that's what I guess they switched out. What they forgot was Mega Pyroar's Hyper Voice hits like a truck, baby. I'm pretty sure this thing gets one shot. It's already frail as hell, but getting hit by 129 base special attack adaptability Hyper Voice, yeah, it's kind of over. So, now, I think they switch back into the Hydrogen. Yep, and they're gonna Scarf Draco here. It doesn't kill me because Pyroar has pretty good special bulk, pretty good bulk in general. It can survive almost any one hit as long as it's not super effective. They go into the Venusaur here. It's pretty much obvious at this point that it's a Mega Venusaur, so there's no point clicking Fire Blast here. We switch into the Zapdos, because Zapdos is kind of the only one who can switch into this Venusaur right now. And as we guessed, it was a Mega. Mega Venusaur's design is so nice. Anyways, Sludge Bomb comes in. Luckily we don't get Toxic. Click Hurricane here. Basic stuff. Switches it into Golden Go. And we're going to repeat the exact same thing we did earlier. We're going to click Volt Switch. Now, one more thing, you could go into Pyroar here, but Pyroar is really low, so I don't want to risk him clicking Shadow Ball. I mean, he could click Recover, which I thought he was going to click, but I don't want to risk it. He might have clicked Shadow Ball, and then there goes Pyroar. And Pyroar can win us the game here. Anyways, he clicks Nasty Plot. We chilly out of there, and we go into Pyroar safely now. And without Scarf, Golden Go is just so slow, so almost anything beats it. So here I don't know why I went into, I think I was like going to calc it, but then I decided against it. I was like, just pretty sure Cinderace dies. Alright, so Cinderace doesn't die, unfortunate, but here the reason I switch out into Olo is because I don't want to die to a sucker punch. So I scout, and turns out, never mind, he just goes for high jump kick, that's fine. I have Rocky Helmet, he dies to Rocky Helmet chip. Afterwards, they go into Galvantula. Here, now I'm thinking, do I flip turn or do I switch out? If he volt switches on me, that's fine, because I get a free switch in. But if he sticky webs and I stayed in there, that would have been really bad, because then I had no way, then I would lose my one thing that's important in this game, speed. I'm faster than this entire team. Perfect, so he goes into Zapdos. He goes into Venusaur. I click Hurricane Leg again. And now, this is where playing it safe really helped out, because now, yes, I could have gone into Pyroar, predicting the recover, but instead, I played safe, go into the Slowking, and yes, he clicked Shadow Ball. So, as expected, now I click Chili, go into Pyroar, and I'm pretty sure it's game now. There's not much he can do. This game has already been set in stone. There we go. I'm kind of thinking about going into Rillaboom for the Venusaur, but then I think, okay, it's fine. You know what? I can probably clean up Venusaur with Zapdos. So, yep, goes into Pyroar. Clicks Fire Blast. I'm so glad all my Fire Blasts landed this game. Otherwise, one miss would have just ruined the entire game. Now, he goes into Venusaur. At this point, I'm thinking, might as well, you know? No point switching into Zapdos, and that was the correct play because he clicks Synthesis. Now, Synthesis, he forgot that it was snowing, so it literally heals nothing, so another free Fire Blast, he forfeits, and that's the game. Alright, last battle. I got you guys one more treat. Okay, so this team that we're actually facing this time is actually a sample team on the Discord made by one of the PvP councils, so I actually already know this set. So the special thing about this set, this team, is that the Rillaboom runs Rock EMZ, Swords Dance Rock EMZ. So that's why we lead with Zapdos, because I want to bait him into using his Z move early. And that's exactly what happens. I click Volt Switch, I get out of there, and I'm expecting either a Swords Dance or a straight Rock EMZ. And either way, Olomola works great for both options. So now, that being said, we go into Olo, and just as I guessed, he ripped that shit, alright? He ripped that Continental Crush. Does absolutely nothing to Olomola. Olomola goat. So here now, I want to try Lane Toxic because it would be crazy good on this Rillaboom. Unfortunately, my luck is trash, so we didn't. So now here, just protecting up, peeling off that grassy terrain, you know, just chilling over here. So now, I don't want to lose Olomola. Olomola's really important, so I don't risk getting crit, and I just go straight into Zapdos, hard switch. No para. This dude's getting really lucky today. And I'm guessing he's going to switch into Iron Treads. He likes to play safe. And he did switch into Iron Treads. I thought I'd get some chip damage, but turns out no, my luck's just absolutely shit, so I can't land anything. We go hard into Rillaboom here. I think I was trying to surprise him with Superpower, but since he runs Mega Kick on his Rillaboom, I think he kind of knows I have a fighting type move on my Rillaboom as well. So that's why I decided to go with U-turn instead, just to pivot out of there. Because I'm predicting that he's going to switch. I thought he'd switch into the Moltres, but turns out he switched into the Slowking, so I got a lucky crit, which I needed after missing 3 of my moves in a row. I think I deserve that crit. Anyways, this allowed me to... Now I'm thinking, what is the best option to go into here? Ultimately, I think I do end up going for Iron Treads to Rapid Spin out. Oh, no, I was thinking, this is the one time taking Pyro chip damage, 75% is worth it, because their only special wall is the Slowking, so they have to switch into something else that nothing really wants to take a Hyper Voice. So, for example, he switches into the Samurai. This Samurai is about to get deleted, and this is what I'm telling you. Pyroar is insanely overpowered. This Pokemon is so strong, it can one-shot almost anything that doesn't resist it and isn't like a bulky Pokemon, it just dies. There's no living. This Pokemon is a nuke button. So, of course, they switch into their Mega Diancie, which makes sense, right? It's a rock type, and they don't want to switch. It's a rock type, and he easily threatened us, so we gotta get out of there. Now, I'm expecting a Diamond Storm, because that would absolutely cook me. That's why I go into the Rillaboom. But instead, it's an Earth Power. But regardless, the thing would have been the same. It would have done no damage. Okay, and now I'm thinking, should I Grassy Glide? I feel like he'll stay. I was guessing he was going to stay because he's kind of on the losing hand. He has to make desperate plays, but it turns out he didn't stay. He went to the Moltres. I got Flame Buried. Unfortunate. Now, I'm getting a little triggered, as you can see in chat. I was like, I missed everything, and bro landed his Flame Body first try. Like, it's pissing me off, right? So, I might have said that in chat, but it's fine. Sometimes rage quit happens. Gotta let out all those feelings, you know? So here, I'm thinking, what do I switch into? Well, Moltres. I mean, into Moltres, there's only one answer on my team. Olomola is perfect. Anything he clicks, he's gonna take Rocky Helmet damage. Okay, nice. And now this is a pretty easy and simple flip turn. Our opponent is waiting. I think if I was him, I'd hard switch, not click U-turn, but I think he does end up clicking U-turn. It's just unnecessary damage he's gonna take, but it is what it is. And, well, my brother's taking a while. Alright, so he does click U-turn, and he takes that helmet chip, so I forgot what he switched into here. Yeah, okay, he switched into the Rillaboom. So here, I switch into an Iron Treads. Here, I do get very lucky, though. I mean, it didn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. You'll see what happens. So, I'm faster than him, of course, so I click Rapid Spin, get those Stealth Rocks away. Now, he clicks Mega Kick. I luckily avoided that. I don't think it would have killed. It would have left me on like 10%, but still, very lucky there. So now, Mega Kick, and finally luck is starting to show on my side of the game, and surprisingly he decided to stay in there even though he's paired, and he's not going to do much damage against the Zapdos. So there goes his Rillaboom, I guess. So now here, I know he's going to click Stealth Rock. That's just kind of common sense. So I'm thinking, okay, let's actually go into the Pyroar, because he's not going to click and move. He's going to click Stealth Rock. Turns out, no, he clicks Ice Spinner. I don't know what he clicked Ice Spinner for, maybe the Rillaboom. But anyways, this move is actually going to click him Fire Blast. Wait, I'm going to pause it here. This is so important. Look at this. Diancie resists Fire Blast, and that did more than 50% damage. This is why Pyroar is busted. This Pokemon has no switch-ins. Even the most specially defensive walls, after 2, 3, 4 switch-ins, they can't take it anymore. This Pokemon just does too much damage. And there's our opponent. He's forfeiting because, of course, Pyroar just busted. That's all. So thank you for watching, guys.